course, in sports, young people have all the advantages. They're fast, they're quick, they recover super fast. Old people were slower, we recover much slower. But as an older badminton player, there's actually several advantages that I've noticed. So today I want to talk about 5 advantages of older badminton players. Number 1, confidence. Maybe you're thinking, oh, but I don't really have confidence and I'm older. But have you actually seen young people recently, especially high school age or college age? God, it's just the self-consciousness is just dripping off them, and you can tell they're constantly thinking where are my friends? I want to stay with my friends. It's so nice to be an adult, and not that adults are free of peer pressure. We're social creatures, so you have peer pressure forever. But we don't have the same kind of peer pressure that young people have. We don't have the cliques and the groups, We just kind of want to be included to play badminton, and we don't really care about who's the coolest. But kids, because I play a lot with college kids, and you could just feel they're so self-conscious and they're just so worried about what other people think of them, and they don't want to screw up because they don't want their teammates to be mad at them, and they always come together and they leave together. They stay in their group and they never really branch out. But I think when you're older, we just want to play, we love the sport. It's our hobby. We just want to play. So we're kind of much more open and happy to play with whoever. I'm just glad to be outside of that self-conscious 20s age where you're just so worried about other people's opinions and stuff. So that's number 1. Number 2, we have to focus on technique. You can see there's an adult woman. My coach is training right now. Older people, we can't rely on our speed and our strength, especially guys. Young guys really rely on their speed and their strength. And a lot of young guys don't even do training because they think they're good enough, our But older people, we really have to train and we really have to practice because our strengths is technique and our strengths is our thinking and our thoughts. It's an advantage for us that we're forced to learn technique and we're forced to learn really good tactics because that's the only way we can win. Even though it's a pain that we have to kind of train this and work extra hard on this than somebody that's maybe 22, 23, I still think it's a real advantage to our game, and I think it's a real benefit that we have to work harder at it because it makes us better. Wow, Junka loves turning off the lights when I'm talking. Number 3, it improves your health. I mean, obviously, but it really does improve things like your reflexes, which get slower as you get older, and it improves things like your cardiovascular system and your balance, and that's all really important as you get older. I'm sure if you're a badminton fanatic, you've already read that recent report that said that racket sports actually increase your life over other sports, that tennis and badminton actually have so many benefits. They found it's something like an average of 7 or 8 years of extra life for people that regularly play racket sports. Now, obviously, they mean later in life. If you're a fanatical badminton player at 20, but then you stop playing badminton in your late 20s and you live to be 70, you're not going to get those benefits, so much later. So badminton is a perfect sport for adults to play and continue to play as they get older. Number 4, let's hope the lights are not turned off on me on this one. You don't have your younger self to compare yourself to. Now, this is just for people who started playing badminton at an older age, like me, who never played a sport when they were younger or who didn't play a sport seriously when they were younger. Because some people that are my age, like my coach and Yangping, they're actually like very depressed because they're feeling like very old. They used to win anybody, and now there's like 25-year-old punks that are beating them, and they feel very old. Meanwhile, I have the total opposite feeling. Like, yeah, I'm older and older, but I feel younger and younger because, you know, just 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I was older and older, and I was feeling older. And because of badminton and because of just being like so active and sporty now, I feel like a lot younger and healthier and fitter than I ever did, even like in my 20s. Even though technically I'm sure I was healthier back then, I didn't especially feel it. You know, young people, you take your health for granted, right? And you take your quick recovery for granted. And while obviously some days I feel very old when I have sore muscles and I can barely walk, I am just very happy that I'm like so much more active and so much more vibrant, even though I'm getting older. Number 5. When you play sports, you're around young people, and I don't mean to like sound like a cranky old lady or anything, but like it's kind of nice to be around like young energy. When you're around people your own age, it's very easy to like be lazy and like spend your Sundays like at brunch drinking mimosas or whatever. But when you play badminton, there's going to be a lot of young people that you play with, and they're kind of like youthful exuberance. Really, I find really kind of like fortifies my youthful exuberance. Being around young people, their attitude kind of rubs off on you. And whereas if you were with other old people, you might say, oh, let's take more breaks, or, you know, I only want to play 1 day a week. But when you're around young people, like in a sports kind of situation, they play every day. So if you only play 1 day a week, you feel kind of a little lazy. I find that like, especially with like these younger people that I play with that are in their 20s, late and early 20s, I find that I'm trying to keep up with them. And I know I can't totally keep up with them, but I keep up with them a lot more than I would if I just kind of hung out with my friends who, let's face it, as people get older, they tend to get a little lazier. Maybe they go to the gym in the morning, but you know, playing sports is less and less common. So it's really nice to kind of be in this environment where sports is played so seriously with other badminton players of all ages. So it kind of, you know, gives you kind of encouragement to play more than you might and to kind of have more energy than you might otherwise. This is not an official tip, but a little extra bonus tip. Adults, we can afford more stuff. We can afford coaching if we want to. We can afford getting like a nicer racket if we want to. When I was a kid, you know, I would have begged my parents for birthdays and Christmas for badminton equipment, but I had no control over it myself. So it is really nice being adult and just like kind of buying what you want, you know, to a limit, I understand. But Huh? Okay, wait, I gotta go play with a 66-year-old. Okay, so we just finished playing. It's the end of the night. So sports, obviously the young people have the advantage, and the young people are always admired, and the older you get, people kind of bemoan like, oh, I'm so old. You know, you got 28, 29-year-olds talking about how old they are, you know, much less me at 42. But I think there are a lot of advantages to an older badminton player. And I hope if you're young, you're not scared of getting older. And I hope if you're old, that you know you have these advantages, and there's some really positive things. And these are just the things that I thought of. If you're an older player, what do you think about being older and some of the advantages you have? Because badminton's a sport we can keep playing till we're old. We don't have to stop when we're young. So I hope we all do keep it up and keep playing, and don't be scared of getting older, okay?